Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans, and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin Out on WYES.
Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
With a lifetime of passion for public television, we're pleased to help underwrite Steppin Out.
Please join us in supporting WYES TV.
Peggy Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Hello.
Hello,
Poppy.
Peg.
Hi there. Hey. He's back with us, Alfred Richard. We're so glad. Movie critic for WWL-TV. Hello.
Hello there, Peggy. Hello, everyone in New Orleans.
It's so nice, absolutely, to have the return of Grammy-nominated composer, guitarist, singer, Greg Barnhill, who is also a founder of the Ozone Music Festival, happening this weekend in Mandeville. Welcome, Greg. And by the way, Greg has written for Tim McGraw, Vince Gill, and Amy Grant, and that is the short list. Glad you're here. And of course, Alan Smason of TheaterCriticism.com and the Crescent City Jewish News. Howdy, Alan.
Hey there.
Poppy, what with Ida, for some folks in New Orleans, Oktoberfest begins in November this year, right?
Well, before we talk about Oktoberfest, we have to mention that New Orleans lost a really great new New Orleanian last month, just a couple of weeks ago. My dear friend Daphne Derven passed away. And if you didn't know Daphne, Daphne was a significant part of the post-Katrina brain game that we all talked about. She came here in 2007 to run the New Orleans Food and Farm Network, but she had done amazing work in New Orleans previously. She actually had helped them develop the open hearth kitchen at the Herman Grima House and at Magnolia Mound in Baton Rouge. Daphne was the founding director of programs for the Mondavi's Copia, that fabulous thing that was in Napa Valley, and then also was the founding director of programs for Stone Barns, which is the Rockefeller estate up there. Well, the last job here in New Orleans that she did was she was the Historic New Orleans Collections Curator of Education. And when you visit that second floor with all the educational wing, Daphne did that. And there is a scholarship fund that is in her name. It's for people who want to learn more about research and stuff. It's the Derven Scholarship Fund. You can contact the Historic New Orleans Collection to learn more about giving in her name, but her great work in New Orleans will continue. So now, Oktoberfest. You might think October's over, but at Deutches' house, the Oktoberfest is rolling for the next 2 weekends. This Friday and Saturday, and next weekend too. And I want to tell you, it's complete with the chicken dancing and the schnapps. Here are their amazing volunteers who have been cooking up that authentic food forever and ever. They have all sorts of beer. It's family friendly, and little dogs are welcome too. Right there on the bayou, of course, on Moss Street. There's a $10 fee to get in, but it is free for those 11 and younger. So bring the kids, bring the pup if you'd like. Head over to Oktoberfest at the Deutches house. It's such a great New Orleans tradition.
Thank you so much, Poppy. And moving over to Alfred, the beginnings of the New Orleans Film Festival. Wow.
That's right, Peggy. The New Orleans Film Festival, 32 years it has been in existence, and it kicks off on the 5th, and it's become a place to be for New Orleans. There are plenty of parties, and examples of different films, and I have a few that I'm picking out that I'm certainly going to try to make mention of and get to, and I suggest that you get to them as well. First up, one of the members, I guess, of New Orleans history, Truman Capote. I still remember growing up when I watched The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson or The Dick Cavett Show, and Truman Capote would be a guest on the show. At one point, I remember either Carson or Cavett asked him, well, what do you think about the writing of today's new writers? And he would say, in his typical way, that's not writing, that's typing. And of course, you see Truman Capote at a masquerade ball. Well, you can tell it's Truman Capote. This is a documentary based on tapes from Dick Cavett and others, especially Truman Capote. So you get to see a little insight of him. It starts on Friday, and this is going to be a new thing for the film festival. One of the film festival's venues, the Britannia Uptown, is unfortunately unavailable, but the AMC Elmwood 20, Theater 11, Auditorium 11, is going to be the host for the Capote tapes, and that's Friday, November 5th at 7 p.m. And you can go to NewOrleansFilmSociety.org for ticket information. There's another film that's coming out during the festival, and this one's called Socks on Fire. Now, here's the synopsis of this. A young poet composes a romantic love letter to his aunt as his, it's hard to believe, as his homophobic family members and the drag queen uncle are fighting for the estate here. I mean, it's got just about everything you could expect. And it's going to be shown at the Broadside Theater, Socks on Fire, on Friday, again, kicking off the part of the film festival at 7 p.m. It's going to be at the Broadside. Now, this is the outdoor venue of the Broad Theater, and the weather's perfect for the outside, so you can get to see that at New Orleans Film Society. And here's another thing. Usually when you're talking about film festivals, you're not talking about family-friendly films or films you could take the whole kids and family to see. Here's one, Clifford, the Big Red Dog. Yes, that film with the Big Red Dog, and my nieces and nephews, the younger ones, and even the great-greats have all asked me, can I go see that movie? And I said, no, you're in Houston, you'll have to deal with it when it comes out. But the Clifford, the Big Red Dog will be showing Saturday, November 6th, at 12 noon, again at the AMC Elmwood, Auditorium 11, and you can get tickets there. So you see, there's just about something for everyone at the New Orleans Film Festival, from those who are fans of Truman Capote to fans of Big Red Dogs.
I'm really looking forward to the Capote tapes and that picture of his famous or infamous black and white ball. That's a wonderful photo. But yes, a lot of locals will want to hear from Truman Capote. Thank you so much, Alfred.
All right.
I know you have some more
I've got some more coming up
later. Okay,
yes.
Good. But now over to Greg. And Greg, my goodness, we could just really focus this whole show on you because you're a busy bee, and you've written. I know you're based now in Nashville, but you kind of go back and forth with the North Shore. And but what is important to convey is that the Ozone Music Festival is not just country music. It's all kinds of music. And as you talk about it generally, we're going to just show some photos of some of the headliners. And tell us, this is the third year, correct?
Yes, this is the third year we've done it, and it's been incredibly successful, more successful than we'd hoped to start out with. But you know, it's born out of the Ozone Music Education Foundation, which is to help people get involved in the music industry and to recreate that music industry in our area, which left. It left back in the 60s, 70s. It went away, but we're trying to revive that. A whole new younger generation of young guys. We're trying to teach them to be producers, to be studio musicians, to be songwriters, to be content creators, and the new technologies that are coming along. We want them, you know.
And you're playing too. We should point out.
Oh yeah, I'm playing. Absolutely, I'm playing. I'm playing the main show along with my special guest Gary Baker, who wrote "I Swear," and also Jonathan Cain from Journey, who wrote all those big Journey songs.
Yeah, but so I know all of those folks are playing during the weekend because.
Yep.
The actual Songwriter Showcase is sold out, but you do have over 140 musicians performing this weekend, and everything is mostly free. The only other paid event is to learn. It's like a symposium about
we have
songwriting.
We have a symposium that starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. It's going to teach people how to home record, how to record at home. Very simple. It's going to go from that to a little more intermediate, and then we're going to have a music attorney talk about today's law and music and how it applies and the future of where that is. And then we're going to have somebody talking about music videos. So it's going to be a fantastic a symposium or seminar. And it's going to go from 9 until about 12:45, about 1 o'clock. So it's going to be very informative.
I know Mark has been with you before because he was on Steppin Out.
Oh yeah, Mark's my bud. He's great. He's just incredible. Yes.
But a lot of the performers have, just like you, national credentials. I know that you've written for NBC, for CNN, so you do a lot of commercials. And what a beautiful setting along the trailhead and by the lake. And
the weather couldn't be better. I mean, for this weekend, it's going to be incredible. And so many people are coming out. I mean, it's just amazing. So, you know, we're so blessed to have that. So.
Yeah, well, we're thrilled, and we're also extra thrilled that you're going to be playing for us a little bit later. But thank you so much, Greg. Glad you were with us. Okay.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Of course. And moving over to Alan. Alan, what's new?
Well, last week the NOLA Project unveiled 3 weekends of what's going to be in the Sydney and Waldo Best Off Sculpture Garden, and it's a group of small plays intended for kids, but really that will be enjoyed by adults. It's a modern upgrade on fairy tales, 5 of them. Keith Clavery, for instance, takes a comical turn as the wolf who meets his match with the 7 kids and their mama goat. A family living under an oak tree has a horrible tale to reveal. As with Grimm's fairy tales, not everything happens to a character that's good. In this case, the mother turns out to be cooking up something in the kitchen that's not on everyone's menu. I particularly like the pact between this newly installed devil and a young man with whom he bargains for his soul. The whimsical nature of this exchange really in this setting is absolutely enchanting. And then there's Monica Harris and Natalie Boyd, who reveal buried treasure in a haunted emporium where there's a ghost of a chance that someone will be rewarded if they stay the entire night on the premises. Also, an homage to Rumpelstiltskin. Brittany, who wrote this, of course, Brittany Williams, wrote The Spinner, about a wicked queen, a young girl, and a talented spinner who befriends her. And all of these are treasured, I think, by the kids, but enjoyed by the adults. They'll be spellbound by the whimsy, the charm. That's 5 scenes. You don't need to bring a chair. You can stand or you can walk, and the walk is very easy between each section in the sculpture gardens. Now, Brittany Williams wrote the book for Tell It To Me Sweet, but there's really no book for Swing That Music. It's a tribute that is finishing its run at the National World War II Museum at the BB Stage Door Canteen this weekend. But the 2 creators of the piece right here, Tom Hook on piano and Wendell Brunius on trumpet, are brilliant. And the words that are spoken are few, but it's the music notes that are played that are so important. I've rarely heard jazz music played so well and with such feeling as in this performance, which of course is an ensemble style of jazz playing that characterized the early style of play in jazz. Again, the arrangements were done by Tom Hook, and he transcribed all of them from recordings. Wendell Brunius plays the music of Satchmo with conviction, and there's Tom Hook contributing his share of singing to the work, essentially a love letter to the importance of Louis Armstrong as a leader and innovator. And there's backing from Charlie Kohlmeyer on drums, Freddie Lonzo there on the right on trombone, Tom Fisher on clarinet, and Richard Moten on bass. Don't miss Swing That Music if you can get to there. If they're not sold out, hopefully a few tickets available for you as well. And Peggy, I know you and I have already talked about it, but coming up Tuesday night, Broadway Across New Orleans returns with a national tour of Tootsie at the Sanger Theater. I saw this Tony Award-winning production back in 2019 in New York, and I'm delighted to be able to see it again with an updated script basically from the movie. This time Michael Dorsey is an actor on the Broadway stage, and Dorothy Michaels becomes his alter ego, and it's basically a musical version of Romeo and Juliet that she gets involved in, titled Juliet's Curse, but of course Dorothy is Juliet's nurse, and we'll leave it at that.
And you wanted to mention the curtain call ball. That's Monday, isn't it?
That is going to be with Kathleen Monteleone, with the special guest, of course, of Brian Batt.
Okay, look, but Petit. Go to Le Petit's website for more info. Thank you so much, Alan. And before we return to Poppy, I wanted to give a nod to last week's Halloween festivities. First up, Vivian Hinyup and friend made no bones about enjoying themselves. And her mom, I know, WYES's own Aislinn Hinyup was a glamorous vampire. Over in Mid-City, there were lots of trick-or-treaters, including Chef Yan Yu and her sons. Yan Yu's restaurant is Yuyan Kitchen in Metairie. We also had a visit from a student at Harry Potter's Hogwarts and the video game Fortnite. We had an angel drop by with her precious trick-or-treater. And we also had, along with the fox, a Super Mario Brother, princesses, and some bats. The neighborhood decorated for the occasion in the evening was a very, very hopeful sign that between hurricanes and pandemic, things are starting to look up. Yes. Now, time back to Poppy.
Well, you know, Greg and I didn't coordinate this information about the Ozone Music Festival, but we're going to start off by talking about my friend Jeff Matea, who, of course, has Pyre Provisions in Covington, the most delicious barbecue. Well, he's got a new space now that's right on the Tammany Trace in Mandeville, and it's called Pyre BBQ. And actually, Pyre BBQ is one of the stages of the Ozone Fest. So you can go there. It's not the full menu they have at Pyre and Provisions. It's a little more casual. It's just what you want. Crispy Brussels sprouts, gator sliders, barbecue egg rolls, and the best barbecued brisket, pork, and chicken that you are going to find. And then looking ahead to next weekend, Sunday, November the 14th, is the 3rd annual St. Francisville. There's the stage. It's going to be a big time. But next Sunday, we're going to be at the St. Francisville Food and Wine Festival. Now, this takes place outdoors at the Myrtle Plantation in St. Francisville. On Saturday night, they're having the first ever winemakers dinner. And then on Sunday, there's over a dozen of Louisiana's best chefs. There's oodles of wine. Over 40 different wines will be poured. There's a Bloody Mary bar. There's a bar featuring bourbon, rye, and whiskeys. There's a craft beer and brats garden. And then do not miss the cooking demonstration stage, much like at, shall we say, Jazz Fest, where I'll be opening the stage on November the 14th, throwing a drag queen brunch. So we'll go, and Debbie will be with me. I don't think they've ever seen the likes of this in St. Francisville, but I can't wait.
Thank you so much, Poppy. And now back over to Alfred for some more movies.
All right, we're going back to the New Orleans Film Festival, and again, it kicks off on the 5th. And the film festival is becoming known for introducing films that will possibly be Oscar contenders. Some years ago, I was there when 12 Years a Slave made its debut at the New Orleans Film Festival. The film I'm going to talk about now is a front runner for certain. It stars Kenneth Branagh. He stars in the film and he directs the film. It is called Belfast. It is a loving tribute to that time in Belfast, which he grew up in the 1960s, about the troubles that are taking place at that time. Kenneth Branagh's direction is masterful in this one, and it can be shown and will be seen Tuesday, November 9th at 8:30 p.m. at the AMC Elmwood, again, Auditorium 11. And you can get the information at NewOrleansFilmSociety.org. The next film is one that's going to be close to my heart. It is called 100 Years from Mississippi. The woman you see on the screen, her name is Mamie Lang Kirkland. She reached the age of 111 years of age. And she talks, and her son, her youngest son, Terry Kirkland, who looks an awful lot like me, strangely enough, he documented a story that she tells from 1915 in Ellisville, Mississippi, where the night a lynch mob went after her father and her father's friend. The father survived, but the friend did not. And she promised she would never return to Mississippi. But after 100+ years she did to tell her story. It is a moving story indeed. Friday, November 12th, 6 p.m. at the Broad Theater. And later during the festival's run, the filmmaker himself, the director Terib Kirkland, will be at the Broad Theater there. Definitely, if you can get a chance, go see that one. And if you're looking for possible star hunting in the film festival in New Orleans, yeah, hear about this one. King Richard, the film based on the life of Richard Williams and, of course, his superstar daughters, Venus and Serena. And you'll see Will Smith takes on the role of Richard Williams there. I don't know if he's going to master that scowl that Richard has on it, but it is, again, one of the films that's coming out this year. Oh, it's going to be the closing film for the film festival, Sunday, November 14th, 8 p.m. at AMC Elmwood Auditorium 20. Go online now, get those tickets, because that's going to go fast.
Thank you so much, Alfred. And now it's time for some music. Back over to Greg with an original composition, House of Love. Take it away.
Oh, I bet you any amount of money he's gonna come back to you, baby. Ooh, I know there ain't no doubt about it, no, no. Sometimes life is funny, you think you're in your darkest hour, when the lights start coming on in a house of love. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Na 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 na. Well, I bet you any amount of money he'll be coming back to you. Oh, I know there ain't no doubt about it. Sometimes life is funny. You think you're in your darkest hour, when the lights start coming on in a house alone. Ooh, yeah, in a house of love. You've been up all night thinking it was over. He's been out of sight, at least for the moment. But when something is strong gets a hold on you, the odds are 99 to 1. It's got a hold on him too. Well, I bet you any amount of money he'll be coming back to you. Oh, I know there ain't no doubt about it. Sometimes life is funny. You think you're in your darkest hour, when the lights start coming on in a house alone. Oh, when the lights start coming on in a house alone. Oh, now when the house is dark and you're all alone inside, oh, you better listen to your heart, put away your foolish pride. 'Cause when a storm is breaking and thunder shakes the wall, love with a firm foundation ain't never, ever, ever gonna fall. Well, I bet you any amount of money he'll be coming back to you. Oh, I know there ain't no doubt about it. Sometimes life is funny. You think you're in your darkest hour, when the lights start coming on in a house alone. When the lights start coming on in a house alone. Oh, yeah. When the lights start coming on in a house alone. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Said when the lights start coming on in a house of love. Yeah!
All right. Woo! Thank you so much, Greg. OzoneMusic.org. Don't forget, this weekend in Mandeville. Now, time to go over to Alan, real quick.
I wanted to mention, we've got some guests coming up on the NOLA Theater Talk Show that'll be very interesting. Tomorrow night, from the film coming up that we're going to talk about, I think I may have it backwards there, but that's okay. City of a Million Dreams, Jason Berry and Tim Watson will be on tomorrow, Friday, November the 5th. And then David Skinner from the Sanger Theater's Ambassador Management Group with Michael Mitchell from the New Orleans Theater Association will be on Monday. A lot of interesting talk there, so we hope we get a chance to check that out on the various sites that we have, which you can see at the NOLA Theater folk Facebook group, the theatercriticism.com Facebook page, and my own YouTube channel. Now, also wanted to mention about the various things that are coming up in the Marigny. There's a lot going on in the Marigny, but in the Marigny area, the Fortress of Lushington has served as a venue for many, many avant-garde shows. A new piece, which is titled Apostles of Everest, is going to bomb next weekend, and we want everybody to know that it's going to be on for 2 weekends. This is going to be directed by none other than John Green, the eminent director, so check that out at the Fortress of Lushington. And then not far away at the Marigny Opera House, there'll be new music this coming Saturday night. It's intended to immerse the attendees in what's termed electroacoustical and instrumental sonic landscapes. Well, if you want to know what it sounds like when a glacier melts, if you're interested, check out the Marigny Opera House's versatile new music, and that's checked out. It's called Sound. So we'll see what that's all about.
All right, thank you so much. And now moving on to Poppy for Picks of the Week. Poppy.
It's November, so that means it's time for the Parkway Bakery Thanksgiving Poor Boys, served every Wednesday through November. And once again, they've partnered with the Al Copeland Foundation for the hashtag I Did It for the Turkey, Skip the Line. $100, all sorts of extras. Don't miss that turkey, poor boy.
All right, Alfred.
Making me hungry for that po' boy. Those ordinary men with extraordinary moves. That's me, one of the members. The 610 Stompers, we're going to be at the Deutches house showing off our moves on Saturday night. So cheer on the Stompers and, of course, the Chocolate Thunder. Let it roll.
Okay, Greg. Your website, all about you. What's your website?
Yes, gregbarnhill.com. You can go see what I do there, and OzoneMusic.org, of course, for our festival.
Of course.
But gregbarnhill.com is where you go to find out what I do.
Thank you. Alan.
Beth Rudetsky's guest this Sunday at 7 o'clock. Check that out. And don't forget the incredible Louisiana Children's Museum. It's a wonderful facility. They're going to be having their big gala, Cherish the Children, Saturday night. It's $75 for ordinary people like you and me. But if you want to become a patron, only $200. I'll see you at the theater.
All right. Thank you. My picks. Baton Rouge-based artist Charles G. Smith is featuring new works at Gallery 600 Julia with an opening reception on Saturday. Look at this beautiful ongoing Upriver by Charles Smith. So pretty. In Fontainebleau Marsh. Adrienne Detmar has her first solo show in 7 years, opening at Octavia Gallery also on Saturday. Gorgeous there, too. She's got some wonderful things. Cloudscape. Look at that. So very beautiful. It's nice to hear Adrienne's name again and Annabelle. Very pretty. And the group Aquamob. Aquamob, look at that. You absolutely don't miss Octavia Gallery. And Aquamob has a haunted ballet called Suspiriaqua on Friday and Saturday night. That's at the Drifter Motel on Tulane Avenue, and you'll be seated around the pool. It's PG rated, and you can go to eventbrite.com for all the details. And you can get your tickets. Finally, check out the new exhibit at the Cabildo, spotlighting the legacy of the New Orleans-based Kohlmeyer furniture makers. And Sunday at 1 o'clock, the Historic New Orleans Collection's 520 Royal Facility, a book signing with the authors of the new book on artist John Clemmer. And of course, that's Judith Bonner, David Clemmer, and John Ed Bradley. And before Greg closes out, a program note. On Monday night on WYES, American Veterans, the Lost, Homecoming, when our Vietnam veterans came home, anticipating, of course, Veterans Day. See it on WYES. And now Greg is closing out our program with his Grammy-winning song, Walk Away Joe. Thank you all. Thank you, Greg. Thanks for watching.
You guys.
Good night.
told the baby girl, take it real slow. Girl tells her mama, hey, I really gotta go. He's waiting in the car. Mama says, girl, you won't get far.
Steppin' Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
With a lifetime of passion for public television, we're pleased to help underwrite Steppin' Out.
Please join us in supporting WYES TV.
Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin' Out on WYES.